In the top left hand side playing Sigrid, we have Stargen up against Sedgehun playing Wulfar on the bottom right. And both of these players have the exact same idea as to what they're going to do in this game. Although that said, Stargen's just going straight down the center. Okay. Not quite what I expected, but I mean, it can work. Sedgehun going for the... Actually, just going to ignore villages and just charge.
So Stargen's kind of going for the MVAC-M Valder rush, but without the Valder. And Sedgehun is going for the Shu Commander Forward Village Cap rush, but without the other sword.
Yeah, it's very weird. And, I mean, well, I guess, like... Oh.
That was so cool, the sword came from underneath! That's a new way to do it, I guess.
Oh, that is cool, actually. Oh, I think I'm slightly behind you as well. Starting turn 4 for Stargen. Okay, yeah, Sigrid's gonna come in, they're gonna hit that. The flagstone tile. They're gonna be pretty much on full health at the start of next turn. That gives them a ton of groove, especially when they knock the village down. Whereas Sedgehun, actually they're on full health, so they're just gonna knock this village down. And they're gonna have groove real soon too. Now the big difference here is that if you have a golem on defense, you know, Wulfar can knock it away, but it does come back. You do not lose the golem. So you're pretty safe to just wall one of those, whereas if you're up against Stargen, who actually didn't hit the village, I'm very surprised by that. Sigrid just eats everything, right? So you try and put a golem up against Sigrid, she's just gonna, you know, destroy that.
Almost everything. But yeah, definitely works on golems.
I mean, I know dragons are like technically quite good against her because you just save them for the killing blow. But
well, still, Sigrid counts as an anti-air unit, which is very good on this map in like the first few turns where you don't quite have enough mages in position yet. So she does help zone out dragons.
That is a good point. Ooh, we're seeing knights being used quite effectively here. Stargen actually needs to bank up a bit of gold to get a golem out.
It's kind of interesting how Wulfar is front switching on the opponent's side of the map. I've never seen that before.
That is very... I was going to say strange, but I mean, if it works. I love that they've left that knight in position for Wulfar to just kind of come and punish if need be. But Sigrid's just like, I'm just going to ignore it and go elsewhere. And now she has groove, which is quite terrifying. Although, ooh, Stargen might be respecting this a little bit too much. That stronghold's quite vulnerable. Knights could just come forwards. And you got Wulfar to punt stuff out of the way. Oh, but no, Wulfar's just going to continue to front switch. Okay.
Oh, what turn are you on?
7 for Sedgehun.
It's weird, I was slow last game and I'm fast this game.
Right, just starting turn 8 for Stargen. And now... Alright, they're just gonna do a bunch of damage, hit the swords, kinda go around the edge of the map. So like, yeah, we got Sedgehun who's completely taken over the center. And Stargen who is, you know, taking kind of the top side of the map and like holding the forces at the bottom back for the moment.
This is a sandwich front. Almost.
It really is. But I guess in this case, you're kind of at an advantage in Wargroove because you can just like push and like take out the half of your opponent's army, and the other half of your opponent's army isn't going to be in position to fight. So...
what is this formation from Sedgehun? It's cutting through the diagonal of the map while Sigrid is still on one side of it.
It reminds me of that joke of like, oh, we're surrounded, well we can fire in any direction. Like... But now Stargen has to pull back because there were night crits lined up. on the strongholds. And probably not going to be in the best position, but oh, there's one knight up in this top right hand side, and it's really nicely, it's being used really nicely, where it can just continue to threaten to, you know, crit villages, go for econ harass.
Did Stargen not build? Oh, they just build in the bottom.
Yeah, well, they had that knight as well, so yeah, they did builds, but let's see what they do at the end of this turn. Got 1600 gold. All right, they went for big buys. Got a witch out now. Now, yeah, Stargen's just gonna recapture a whole bunch of stuff. Sigrid's in a bit of a risky position, but I guess there's enough army here to back everything up. Yeah, things are capturing the balloon with the spears.
Wulfar. I mean, you can yeet things. Because the sword can be one-shot by a mage. The other sword can be one-shot by Wulfar, but that takes up the Wulfar. The dragon can take a knight. Yeah, I guess they can't expose enough sides to do enough damage. Sigrid's safe.
And now, ooh, Sedgehun's just completely taking over this bottom left-hand side. They have enough knights to do this quickly, so yeah, and that bottom left village in the corner is going to go down too. So whatever Stargen is going to do, they have to do it pretty soon. Small amounts of units getting picked off. Ooh, that was a free sword. And actually, it's really clever that they went for the sword target there, because like less units to recapture the villages.
It's like Sedgehun just decided, okay, I am going to race you to take as many villages as possible. Go.
And
you can go anywhere on the map, it's fine. Just as many as possible.
Yeah, oh, ooh, there's no anti-air on the bottom hand side, so that dragon is just gonna kind of do a lot of work. Stargen is actually making sure to have enough mages. Just enough to keep the dragon from being able to do too much. Alright, and now Sedgehun, they're just gonna take this bottom left. I mean, I think at this point you're just like, oh well, you know, you may have a dragon, but I'm just gonna be willing to sacrifice units to it.
Some of you may die, but it is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Exactly. We've just seen a lot of, like, Wulfar has been on a real big trip this whole map. He just like went to the center and then he kind of swept north, and now he's up on the north hand side. And hasn't grooved once. We're on turn 12. And neither of them have had opportunities to groove. They're just kind of both holding it right now. Ooh, big damage coming in. And very nicely done by Stargen. Just decapturing stuff. Making sure to have swords in place to do recaptures. And,
I really like taking out that particular pike with the dragon, because it means the knight that went in is invincible unless Sedgehun dedicates backwards the two other units that could get killed there to ensure that it's going to be worth it.
Now Sedgehun's just pushing forward again. Ooh, nice block with that witch. Gonna be quite useful. They're gonna not kill the enemy knight, although it's on 1%, so it's gonna be, I guess, used as a blocker later on maybe. Or it's just gonna die to a witch hex. Actually, honestly thinking about it is far more likely to be the case of how this goes. Alright, Stargen, what are you gonna do? Oh, they're just gonna vampiric touch this dragon. Which, that's actually about as good value as you can get out of a Sigrid groove. So
there is nothing more important than taking out the dragon. That's the best unit.
I mean, yeah, gold wise it is. It can also, it's like her being able to take out an air unit as well. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal there. And now golems are knocking down villages, knights are knocking down villages. We've got a big mage crit coming in. Second big mage crit coming in. Even runs back this knight to heal up a little bit. And yeah, moves the dragon to a safe position. So yeah, this bottom left hand force has been completely crushed.
Be off with
Alright,
you.
what can Sedgehun do? Alright, we got balloon. We got sword crits coming in. Okay. I'm curious. Ooh, we got more stuff being cleared. Harpies being used. Swords being used. There's a lot of stuff getting killed in this top hand side of the map actually.
Just the order of this attack is throwing me. Like, I don't think like this.
I'm actually
I
really
don't know of anyone who thinks like this.
I was really surprised that village didn't get hit there, because Sigrid could technically walk back and heal off of it, but...
What's just amazing to me is the way Sedgehun did that attack. It was like, harass this, then come from the bottom, then like thread through there.
Actually,
I don't know, I was impressed.
looking at where that balloon got knocked to, Sigrid can't retreat using it. Or even walls. I would have expected the mage to come... Oh, but there's only one mage. So, yeah, you couldn't... Yeah, you couldn't sacrifice the mage because the dragon's there. So you need some anti-air.
Ooh, that's not a great spot for that archer. That's not. Honestly, I would have sacked the mage, because you're trading it for a harpy. If you don't do it now, the harpy can overload you later and then protect the dragon.
That's true. And it's just like a really nice gold trade too. Oh, Sedge is like really pushing out. We're on turn 14 by the way, and there are 31 minutes left on the clock. So it's like, yeah, these are both very fast players.
I'm just laughing at what Sedge is doing in the south with the balloons and the witch. Like, haha, your mages are not in position to hit me, even though you have 3 of them.
Yeah, because the mages are getting used to, you know, capture things. Alright, we've got turn 15 for Stargen. What they're going to do. And they're going to be aggressive. Sigrid actually, she needs to hit things. She has to build groove. That archer... it's in a decent position, but yeah, like, and the big thing for Stargen and the big thing for Sedge is that Sedge was able to just attack and do a ton of damage on one turn and had no counter attack come out in like response to it. So that's like the worst feeling, right? When you lose a ton of units and like you just can't counter attack. You're just like, well, I just have to take like a 5 unit loss essentially.
Sedgehun just owning the middle of the map.
Yeah, they're getting ready to I mean, they are pressuring the stronghold, I should say. They're just getting ready to put more pressure on it. And this is a really scary looking army. I love that it's created this kind of like little V formation. It's like pointed directly at the stronghold.
I think the idea here was that the mage was a little bit too far south. The other anti-air were too far south, and Stargen was just blocking too much with balloons. So Sedge was like, okay, let me retreat to my anti-air and gain new position from that.
And then Stargen has to pull back things to, you know, keep the stronghold alive. I do kind of wish that he'd moved that knight instead of in front of the stronghold, moved it to the south to threaten to counter hit villages. Just leave the option on the table. Oh, that's like the world's biggest hex right there. That's a ton of damage.
Good luck on the landing.
Oh, is this it?
This is it. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
tons of damage.
That's GG.
Because there is, I believe, a knight crit. Oh, but there's
And
2
the
knight
golem
crits
hit.
actually.
Oh wow, that's even worse.
Oh, really well played there by Sedgehun. Just, I mean, both of them played like a really good game. Sedgehun, I think, had a slight advantage the whole time, or a lot of the time, especially on that turn with the big counter attack. And then it's funny, that was like a 17 turn game for both players, and we saw 2 grooves out of Wulfar and 1 out of Sigrid. They were both really holding those grooves. So that is Sedgehun qualified for Groove of War 7. So they will be in the main event, Stargen, there is one more opportunity to qualify. So, you know, we could definitely see them. And, you know, as we go through and more players qualify, that means, like, the stronger players in the community are qualified already. Like, your chances go up of qualifying each time. Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Stargen during the next qualifier. And Sedgehun, you know, a staple member of the community. They've been here since the start. And definitely
Stargen's been.
I feel like Stargen came in a little bit later. Sedgehun was here like day one.
Oh yeah, no, I was saying more like Stargen's been rocking the ranked ladder. I think they could definitely qualify.
Oh, that's true. Stargen saying they came 2019 December, so yeah, a little bit of the game's life. Just before Double Trouble. But yeah. Alright, Stargen definitely been playing a ton of ranked games. I will mention after this, after we go to the other screen, but yes. We'll play the Sedgehun.